Have you wondered how our food turns into energy? Yeah. Well, this starts with glycolysis. Glycolysis is the first step in cellular respiration. And cellular respiration is basically how our cells make energy. Just like our phone needs a battery, our cells also need energy in the form of ATP. And glycolysis is the first step in this process. Glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm and it does not need oxygen. Well, this is important. Glycolysis does not need oxygen. Okay, so now going into detail with glycolysis. As you can see, the word glycolysis from itself, glyco means sugar, or in this case glucose, and lysis means splitting. If you're a science student, or a biology student, you will see lysis in many other terms. And whenever you see lysis, know that it means splitting. So basically, glycolysis means sugar splitting. Okay, so we are clear with that. Glycolysis means sugar splitting, or splitting sugar when it comes to grammar. Okay, so what are the steps of glycolysis? Glycolysis starts with with glucose, where there is 6 molecules of glucose, which breaks down into 2 molecules of pyruvate. And pyruvate consists of 3 carbons. So these 2 molecules means like 3 carbons, which in total is glucose. So in this first step, glucose breaks down into 2 molecules of pyruvate and forms 2 ATP. This is what we are looking for. This is the energy that is needed from our cells. So in glycolysis, the glucose is broken down into 2 molecules of pyruvate and ATP. This comes in a lot of questions. The net gain, because there is a lot of process that goes on, the net gain of ATP that's produced is 2. Then what happens after glycolysis? After glycolysis, if oxygen is present, then we go into what is called aerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, just like the name aerobic means oxygen, like aerobic means when oxygen is present. So if oxygen is present, this is going to continue in the other steps of cellular respiration, which is pyruvate oxidation. The second step goes into the Krebs cycle to the electron transport chain, and at the end of the whole cellular respiration, we have ATP that's produced, but that's going to be in another video. And then what happens when there is no oxygen present? When there is no oxygen present, it's going to go into anaerobic respiration or fermentation. So fermentation occurs in animals and in yeast. This means if we don't have oxygen, we are out of oxygen, our cells are gonna find another means to produce energy, right? So in animals, it is called lactic acid fermentation. And this is when glucose is directly broken down into lactic acid and ATP, 2 ATP molecules. And also in yeast, when there is no oxygen, this is why glycolysis occurs in all living cells, because it doesn't need oxygen. Organisms like yeast do not need oxygen, right? So without oxygen, they can use glucose and still have energy. So what they do is they break down glucose into what? Ethanol or alcohol and 2 ATP. ATP is the energy that they need. So I guess you have an understanding of what glycolysis are and the paths, the process in glycolysis.